Good Wednesday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the Internal Combustion Engine Age YouTube channel. Talks about all my cars and trucks and motorcycles, Florida, the kid, the popcorn. Wow. Hey, good Wednesday morning. Wow, Wednesday. I can't keep track down here. To all those who watch my channel, appreciate everybody that tunes in and sees what's going on a daily basis here in the Iceman world. And the antics, the adventures, and what have I done next? You don't even want to know. You don't want to know what I've done next. Yeah, if I put myself in a predicament, probably. Where's the popcorn and the kid? Hey, I told the daughter today to take my dad in his nice, clean Hyundai Santa Fe to go get breakfast. So they're out there getting breakfast right now. And as always, just a really beautiful morning here in the sunny Florida. Not too hot, not too cold. And there's a Ram TRX, which is just such a great truck. It really is. I'm just really taken back on how borderline I didn't get one of those, and it all kind of played out eventually. So here we are. What are we doing? What's the adventures? What's the talk? What do we talk about, right? Keeping the lingo going here on my channel. And I thought to myself, I think I'm going to talk about Nvidia, the supercomputer chip manufacturer that I've talked about so much, even the point that I'm kicking myself like you can't believe that as much as I talked about that company, I didn't buy any stock. Wow, I just don't have the brains to be in the stock market because I just never was trained that, and too bad I wasn't, because I'd be worth a lot of money for all the money I spent on cars and put in the stock market in the right stocks. And it is incredible. Incredible if you're really watching that stock, which is all driven by this new generative, pre-trained transformer, the generative, Chat GPT. I've talked about this artificial intelligence quite a lot on my channel, especially last year, in great depth of what's going on in the industry, of this whole transformation of the computers overtaking our lives and the robots that's really on our doorstep more than ever for anybody here that's been around for a while. I think we're going to see a transformation not ever seen in the near future, because so much money is being dumped into this artificial intelligence, and so many people like the likes of Elon Musk that are diligently trying to bring a robot to your house to be able to live with you. So it's just incredible on how this Nvidia is a superstar company that's 30 plus years old that just surpassed every company and be now the biggest value company to date because of all its stock options. And if you're really following the Nvidia, is the company did a 10-to-1 stock split, because literally that stock was like a $70, $80 stock a year ago, and it blasted off to like $1,200, $1,300 stock, and they decided to let others be more involved in the stock. They did a 10-1 split, and now it's back to $125. So just wow, unbelievable. And once again, they're the GPT that has the processing, or the GPU, whatever you want to call it. They have a different type of supercomputer chip that processes the artificial intelligence more efficiently and better than anybody per se out there. There are other semiconductor manufacturers out there making chips, but the go-to, what so many feel is the best, is the Nvidia's type of semiconductor chips that people want, and they're buying them up by the droves. But what they're talking about is, which is kind of interesting, is Nvidia reported $50 billion in sales this last quarter, but yet the actual investment in the artificial intelligence was $3 billion. So it's a totally lopsided equation, which has some analysts kind of concerned that so many companies out there are buying up all these chips to create their own business, artificial intelligence business, but it's minuscule in comparison to the amount of sales. And I guess what you could say, to me, the way I look at it, I guess it'd be kind of like the amount of people are buying cars. You and I decided to get in the car business, and we go out and buy all these freaking cars, and we give this one company like General Motors $50 billion in buying vehicles, but yet in the actual market, we're only selling 3 billion vehicles. I mean, that's the only way I can kind of look and try to translate that to kind of make any sense, that there's a concern that more people are getting in the industry, but yet the sales for what they're buying up is not really staying proportional to all the investments. Now, of course, it's still young in the ball game, so who knows? I think long term, the numbers will probably start to change because so many people in the background are building out this artificial intelligence. And it really is incredible how more than ever, it's the main conversation, and it's the really has driven the whole stock market. And so many people are saying it's the .com bust stock market that so many people witnessed back in 2000. All the companies that started getting into the .com, the internet infrastructure, like Cisco Systems was the big guy back then that had the big value. And so many people are speculating that are we going down the same path where the .com, if everybody remembers AOL, just remember so many companies out there that got involved into the internet infrastructure, and stock prices went through the roof. But in the end, so many failed. And so there's a concern that there's an overbuild in the artificial intelligence, or I should say more of it's an overvaluation of what's actually going on. Up, here they come. Here she comes, Flames. Watch out, she's gonna run me over. And there's Popcorn. What is he saying today? And there's a kid with her drink. Yes. Yep. And so they, the two characters, the two peas in the pod, has to rev up the engine. Look at her, huh? Two peas in a pod. What, those two just don't look like they're meant for each other? I don't know what to say. So with all the artificial intelligence, which always equates right back to the Ice Age, to the cars, because so much technology is all being put into these cars because, as we know, Elon Musk, the number one pusher of these driverless cars, is at an all-time high. And you've witnessed on my channel how I have the Blue Cruise and my Ford products, and I've shown many videos of me driving down the road with the car steering itself. And then you have the highway, the highway cruise. I guess and then you have the full self-driving with Tesla. But it all relates to this artificial intelligence technology that's in these, the infrastructure of everything around us that is, for Nvidia, is creating incredible profits and incredible values. Thank you, baby. And there's Dad. It's not easy getting old. Not easy being 92 years old. There he is. Let's see what he has to say. What is going to be the word of the day from the Popcorn? What have they been talking about? What has been the morning conversation between the two peas in a pod? Not much. Did they have an argument? Did Popcorn start to tell the same story? Did he? Look, they're here. See here, this is how it works. Takes time, right? Yeah, we know these stories. You have a parent that's progressed. Yeah. So anyway, I really thought this morning, for me, and the reason I'm talking about this is I read in great depth article about what's going on with the Nvidia company, and it's just been unbelievable of where that company's come from and where they are. And here he is. Here is Popcorn on his feet, shuffling along. What's the word of the day today, Dad?
You're greeting your hero.
What?
You're greeting your hero.
Oh, okay, your hero. All right.
Your wish is my command.
Your wish is my command. Wow. All right. Huh. You may be setting yourself up for something on that one, buddy. Well, that happened yesterday, which that's a whole nother story. Yeah, stay.
Careful what you pray for.
Yeah, there. Good old Dad. Yeah, everybody knows those stories, right? Yeah, what you think you want, and then you don't really want, right? So I'm gonna have my coffee here on the artificial intelligence conversations, and what is really intriguing me. One of my subscribers, Roger Fisher, I appreciate you reaching out and supporting my channel. He sent me an email, and he was saying to me, "Hey, here's here you can go out and buy subscribers." And for me, yes, I've been told that, and I've had some other subscribers send me that information as well. And I responded to Roger. I said, "Really? Do I really have to buy my subscribers? Do I really go that route to create my? Do I really go to buying subscribers to present that I'm something bigger than I'm not? Do I really start promoting information that's fake news? I mean, do I really go that route?" And you know what? I said to him, I said, "Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that what this comes to be eventually, I'm sure something else will come from it." And that's just the kind of the way I look at things and I evaluate things. Is at some point I just think something comes about from your efforts, and sometimes it doesn't play out the way you want. But I think in the end, something will be rewarded, and that's really how I'm kind of trying to look at things with this channel, because it's so much of time and efforts for little to no return. But what made me think is, wow, with all this artificial intelligence on our doorstep, I just kind of need to see how this display here is got this little like white thing up here. We're trying to ride this bike, so I've ridden it one time. Which I think to myself, the amount of time that I was talking to you about yesterday was the so many people put so much time and effort into this social media that they don't get the reward they think they should get. Meanwhile, on the back end, the smart guys are basically, they're the smarter individuals are building this artificial intelligence, and they're taking advantage of the new technology, and they're putting their efforts and time into just what I've been talking about. And I think to myself, there's other people out there that are probably in the end going to be rewarded substantially for all their efforts and times of taking this artificial intelligence and creating something, and I'm sure it'll really be social media content through the artificial intelligence. And for once again, I'm just not the mastermind of knowing all these things, but I just think that there's probably a lot going on behind the scenes of others that are going to be rewarded from their creativity, because you're called a creator on the social media. But here's something really interesting. Tony Stewart, the Stewart-Haas NASCAR that races in NASCAR, that team is dismantling at the end of 2024. So Tony Stewart's getting out of NASCAR. I think the drag racing's got him addicted, so he's pulling the plug on that. And meanwhile, the star drivers that he has, they're now looking for jobs. And there was a really good article on, here's my next door neighbor's brother that's heading back out of town, and he doesn't even really see me, I don't think. My next door neighbor's brother passed, and that's his other brother down here trying to get things in order from his brother passing, who was single. But anyways, so this guy, Chris Briscoe or something, I'm not really sure of the names. I don't really follow NASCAR that much anymore. But what this gentleman's saying, that he's now really more than ever at the mercy of social media. That more than ever, the future of racing, the future of these highlight personalities that are in sports, you got to be able to market yourself. And he was talking about how it's changed so much in the last 15 years on how you as a race car driver, they're going to kind of evaluate not only your skills of racing, but your personality and your social media likeness. And so for him, he's just talking about how the times have changed. There's so many out there that now you're really having to market yourself. And if you don't have a big following, and you're not big on, I guess you could say, I don't know about TikTok, but Instagram, I guess YouTube, it's more challenging for you maybe to get that position on a new team that would want you, because are you a marketable product on the race team? Wow. Isn't that something? I mean, it just, for the younger generation, that anybody, I don't think many people watch my channel on the younger generation, but did you just hear that? The future of your status, of your career may hinge more than ever on your social likeness on Facebook. Wow. And then he talks about, the challenge for the people that now are starting to witness this If 15 years ago you had a different position and views and ideas and ideology, that may come back to haunt you. And that's what I think about my channel, is I kind of voice some real, I think, factual views. And in some ways, maybe that's what YouTube on the back end is like. The algorithms don't match up to the sponsors or the advertisers that would really be so inclined to promote their products on my channel, because they see I'm not going to play the game. I'm not going to sell myself, sell my soul to try to make a living because of what products or things they want to market or sell. And in some ways, my channel isn't marketable because it comes across maybe in an abrasive way to others' views and ideology. And I can understand that. I really could. I mean, why would the EV Age guy be really wanting the Ice Age TV YouTube channel that has a lot of content that's more so the Ice Age of the internal combustion engine age and the reality of the EV age? And not that I'm against the EV age, but I'm against the agendas that push it. And now there's the clicker right there. There's the key thing. It isn't that I'm against an electric vehicle. It's against the basically what we all know is the underlying goal of the governing bodies to control you more than ever. And so that's a negative. That's a check mark against me, which once again, I'm sure that in some ways, but you know, I was talking to my dad last night. I said, it's incredible how I talk about these other YouTubers. And I said, it's just, you have to step back and you have to just say to yourself, the bigger subscribers to these other YouTubers that are supposedly following them, it's the constant negative environment, the gloom and doom. And as I was telling my dad, which I told other viewers on my channel, it's a redundant conversation, but it just cracks me up that the used car guy that goes and gets used cars all day long is telling everybody their car has no value. So he just conditions you to give away your car. The real estate guy just continually, harbors on how the real estate market sucks and how it's crashing, and you might as well just sell your house for half off. I mean, it just cracks me up that the guys that make the money in the industry they're in, they're telling everybody how bad it is. And doesn't everybody know this story? If you go to the car dealership to go trade your car in, and for me, you know how many times I've heard these stories? You come in, well, you know, that vehicle there, people just really aren't as excited about that as they used to be. So it doesn't have a great value because of blah, blah, blah. Who hasn't heard this story a zillion times when you go to sell a car, you go to trade a car in? But that yet, when you want to buy a vehicle, then it turns into the opposite presentation. Oh, man, you know, these things, there's not many out there, man. You'll be so lucky to be able to buy one of these things, and here you go, and that's the price, man, and you know, that is it. But then you come back a year later, hey, I want to trade in the Super Bee, and then the conversation goes, oh, Dodge built so many of those damn things, man. There's so many out there. It just doesn't really, you know, they got the new Daytona out there. I mean, it just really isn't the car that, you know. So here's the value, right? And so it's just a total game of making you feel smaller to then try to just suck it up, buttercup, that you don't have anything you really thought you had. So once again, the gloomer doomer YouTubers, all they're doing is conditioning people to accept that, you know what? It's time to throw your hands up and it's over. I mean, what's the number one thing that the media machine does? It conditions people to believe that one party versus another party is a loser party. That's all it is. You don't hear MSNBC News or CNN talking up how great the GOP party is. You don't hear Fox News or all the other conservative news channels talking about how great the Democratic Party is. You don't ever hear that. Their underlying message day in, day out is the opposing party is a loser party. It has terrible views and ideas and ideology, and it goes on and on and on. And it conditions people to say, oh, yeah, right. Yeah, I believe all that, so then I'm not going to vote that way. And what's interesting, in my own backyard district, voting of the primaries for the Democratic seats and GOP seats just played out in my own backyard up there in Loudoun County, Virginia. And it was really interesting to see the two nominees won their seat for GOP and the Senate and the Democrat. And then they walked around and they asked individuals, what made your decision to vote this person to be the Senate pick for your county? and for your jurisdiction. And so the first word on the first lady that they did an interview was the woman's rights. I voted for this Democratic person because of how they support the women's rights. And I'm just thinking, wow, have you been watching the news lately? I mean, have you kind of seen what's going on? Do you realize? I mean, but anyways, okay, all right, I get it. So that's very, very important. And then another person, they go up and ask why they voted for this person. And they said, well, because the former person highly recommended this person. I have no idea what this person stands for in so many words. But since the previous candidate recommended this person, then I'm going to vote for them. Not really knowing per se what all their views, but they're just taking it they have the same views and ideas and policies as the former one. Then they went up to another person, and the person said, my concern is, it's an independent person that actually voted GOP, was the immigration, that they're very concerned for the illegals that are running amok in our country and the immigration laws, and so they voted for GOP. And then we had another person that's a former military person, same thing. The thing that they really hammered on was the immigration, is that how this person felt like going overseas and seeing all the people that are out there coming to our country are going to turn it to countries that he went to. Yeah.
Grandmommy's not feeling well.
Okay, well, I'm going to finish this video up and we'll go check it out and do what we have to do to make it all work. So don't worry, I'm not going to be on this thing forever. Am I getting the message from a kid? I got to go in and take care of my mom. I guess that's what she's saying. So I guess that's what I have to do. I guess I have to cut the video short, which I'm going to do. So anyways, it's always about the conversations, the adventures, things going on, and trying to make the best of it while we're down here. And for the most part, we've been pretty successful in keeping my mom on the upside, but I don't know what's going on. So for my daughter, she's saying I got to turn the video off and go see my mother. So that's what I'm going to do. So as always, thanks for watching my channel. And stay tuned for more adventures. We got some big adventures coming your way. Yikes. Stay tuned. God bless.